Hello, wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful people. So, I want to talk about the people that are surrounding us, that are giving us information, okay? And just my opinion on what they are and what we should think about them. So, I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So what I'm aware of is this. Recently, I talked about new kids on the block and how we have to use our discernment with people who are coming with very new information, okay? Or information that seems to come just slightly off track. However, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the people who bring us information and bring us virtually the same information over and over and over and over again. Okay. So when I started to present the information from the emissaries just over 3 years ago, a little bit over 3 years ago, I was in a very, very, what I would call luxury position. My luxury position was that I already had a business. I already had an income. So what I did was I started to do this work purely because I had to do it. Yeah. I didn't have a choice. Literally, I did not have a choice. I knew that I had to do this. And so I did it, and I've always done it with great joy and great pleasure. So that was my situation. But what I'm aware of is that lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people who do this work actually do this work and count this work as their employment. They earn money from it. Okay? Is that bad or good? Neither. It just is. There's just, if they need to earn money, they need to earn money. We had an interesting conversation recently about some people who say that it's very bad to charge money for your services. It's very 3D. And of course, we should all be aspiring to 5D and ascending to 5D. Now, my opinion on that is that it's a load of bollocks. Okay, and I mean that with love. I think that we are here in 3D because we chose to come here in 3D. This is 3D. This isn't 5D. Right? We came here in 3D. We chose to live our life here. We chose to live our life. Now, to live in 3D, you need to have some money. Yeah? Like it or not. If you're going to pay your rent, you've got to have your rent. If you want to stuff food in your mouth, you're going to have to. Now, there are some people that can live without eating. I saw once a video of a guy who lived in a tree and he just lived by feeding off the sun. However, that's not much of a life. That's no life at all. He didn't really have a life at all. He was sitting in a tree, like in a hollow of a tree, for years. Didn't move, didn't look like he was breathing, didn't say a word. Okay, that's not life. That's escaping life. Personally, in my view, that's escaping life. We didn't come here to then deny this life. Okay? So that's kind of my opinion. If you need to earn money, you bloody earn money. And if you can earn lots of money, earn lots of money. Why not? Why not? It's all about intention. It's the intention that we have. Now, what I see is that the vast majority of people who work in this business do it with the best of intentions. I truly believe that. Do some people sell hopium? Of course they do. Do I sell hopium? Of course I do. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You see, if we know how this universe works, which is what we expect to happen happens, then it's my job to do my very best to make you feel as fantastic as you possibly can and as excited about what's coming as you can, because that's going to bring it about. That's going to speed it up. And so there's nothing wrong with hopium. I'll add a caveat to that. When people start putting dates on things, that is dangerous. I'm not saying that they do that on purpose to cause a problem, but I think it's dangerous because what happens is we get excited, we get excited, it doesn't happen, and then we go down deeper. We get very disappointed. And I don't like that roller coaster, energetic roller coaster. That's not good. Look, it's coming. It's going to happen anyway. We don't need to put dates on it because we've got shit to do. We don't need to be, is it tomorrow? It doesn't matter. Focus on what you've got to do today. It doesn't matter when it's coming. It's coming. That's it. There is no doubt about it. But in the meantime, we've got stuff to do. So the point of this little chat is just to say that I think we need to give people a break. All right. I think most people, if not all, are doing things for the very best that they can offer. Do they get it wrong sometimes? Of course they do. Do they say the wrong things? Of course they do. But that doesn't mean that they've got bad intentions. Okay? So I think we need to give them a little bit of a break and not worry too much about them. Let me tell you, just as an end story. I've told this story before, but a long time ago, so I'll tell it again. When I was young, I went on a course, and it was called the team building course. It was it lasted a week. I've never experienced anything that we became so close, this group of people, because we did exercises where we were working as teams. Okay, this is exactly where we are, by the way, at the moment. This is exactly where we are. We are becoming one because we're working as a team. This is something that we need to focus on and we need to promote. So, in one of the games that we played, it was called The Spy. The Spy. And so we were all, there were 30 of us there. We were all given a little strip of paper, and on that paper my paper said, you are not a spy. Okay? The game was called The Spy, and then we got put into groups. Everybody knew whether they were a spy or not. We got put into groups, and the idea was that we had to build a kind of structure based on the clues that we were given by the man who was running the course. But we had to go out in twos, but only one person could get the clue. Okay? You can't begin to imagine the total fuck up that we had. Why? Because we didn't know who the spies were. Each person, two people had to go, but one person got the clue. We didn't know whether the person who was the spy was bringing the wrong clue. The structures that we were building were a pile of shit that didn't correspond to anything that we were supposed to do. It was very difficult. In my group, it got so heated that two men started to have a fight. And one of them got the other one up against the wall by the throat and said, you're a spy, you're messing this up, okay? It was a nightmare. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I still remember the feelings of frustration and doubt, and we didn't know who we could trust. At the end of the exercise, we all got together, and the man said, now, hands up all of the spies. And nobody put their hands up. There were no spies. Every single person was not a spy. And yet, what happened? It was the doubt. It was the doubt and the confusion. Put those together. I don't know who I can trust. Put that together with some confusion, and nobody trusted anybody. And not only that, nothing was done. Nothing was accomplished. Okay? That was one of the biggest life lessons I've ever learned, which is this: when you don't trust the people around you and when they don't trust you, fuck all gets done. Nothing gets done, and everybody feels awful. Do you think that if I learned that, let's say 30, 40 years ago, I learned that lesson because of team building course, do you think that the baddies are not aware of that? Of course they are. That's their way of dealing with anything. They insert doubt and they tell us that we've been infiltrated. Yeah. Once that's there, once there's a bit of confusion, people giving mixed messages, yeah, and then we think, hang on, we've been infiltrated. We don't trust anybody anymore. And my guess is that there are very, very few people who truly are on the side of the baddies. But what they've done is they've sown the seeds of mistrust. And so we don't trust anybody. So how do I know if somebody's got the best of intentions? Well, I listen to them and I just hear the way they come across. And you know what else I do? I watch how much they work, how hard they work. And I've watched some people work so hard, dedicate their lives to this. Their lives. I mean, I'm a lazy bastard compared to so many. I mean, some people are just at it all the time, videos every day. You know, if you do that amount of talking, you're going to get some stuff wrong. You're going to say some stuff that's not going to resonate, you know. So, I don't know. You make your own decision about what you think, but I just don't think that we need to judge too quickly. You know, judge not lest ye be judged. We don't need to. Use your own common sense. And remember that if somebody's giving you hopium, and what I mean by hopium is somebody's telling you in September it's all going to be over. Look, just think, well, all right, maybe they're just short of something to say, you know, maybe. But up to this date, nobody has got any dates right. Have you noticed that? Up to now, nobody has predicted the end properly. And that's my gut feeling, is because it's a progression that we're going through. We're not going to have one of these like step change. I think it's going to be a progression. And that's why saying, you know, we've had the lot, haven't we? We've had the burning hot summer and the crazy this month and all these months with names and stuff like that. And then nothing's happened. And when I say nothing's happened, look, loads of things are happening. But the end of all of this hasn't happened. So, just take everything with a pinch of salt. Take everything with a pinch of salt. But you know, I'll finish with this. Somebody once said to me, I read a quote from somebody who was very famous, who said, from a long time ago, who said, "Doctors, the job of a doctor is to keep the patient distracted whilst its body heals it." Yeah. So that's the job of a doctor, just to distract the patient while the body actually heals itself. Personally, I think that that's our job. The people who choose to give messages, our job is to keep people upbeat, to keep people in the right vibe. That's it. It isn't necessarily to give such an important message all of the time. I think there are very important messages that are given, but generally we are the cheerleaders. That's kind of our job, is to, you know, and that's kind of your measure. Watch somebody's video. At the end of it, do you feel better? Keep watching them. Watch somebody's video. At the end of it, do you feel worse? Probably stop watching them. That's it. Anybody who has the gift to make you feel better about yourself, about the situation, and about the future, they are in the right place and they're doing the right job. Yeah? Okay, so that's all I have to say. I love you all and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.